Chris, were you familiar with the NVIDIA DLSS 5 situation that happened?
I'm familiar with it a little bit. Yeah, what's your take on that? What's going on there for
people
the
that don't know? NVIDIA, the company, showed off this new tech where they're doing AI upscaling on some of the games for PC, and they did this thing where it went from game to game, and they showed the before and after, and the response to this has been very bad. This was not what they, I think, were anticipating in terms of a response. People hated this. A lot of these look horrible, like Grace from Resident Evil Requiem looks like a completely different character when that thing is on her. There's an elderly woman from Hogwarts Legacy who looks atrocious after that thing is on her. The soccer game, the FIFA game, Van Dijk looks more like Van Dijk, and I would say like it works a little better just because that's a real person. So sure, you want to make it more realistic, sure, but like most of this looked awful, and it got me thinking. Back then, when games were, in their infancy, or the industry really was in its infancy, and time passes by, you get your NES, and then you get your Super NES, and it's like, damn, this looks better. And then N64 comes out, and it's like, holy shit, it's in 3D. And then, the PS2 and the GameCube come out, and it's like, wow, this looks incredible. Games will never look better than this. And then you enter the PS3, Xbox 360 generation, and like, it looks amazing. And then you get to the PS4 and Xbox One, and it looks like fucking incredible. And then I would say once you reach the PS4 to PS5, that's when it kind of stops being so impressive, right? But I remember back in the day, we craved that graphical leap. I feel like that was the conversation, was this looks better than this. Even if the gameplay wasn't necessarily better, even if the game wasn't necessarily better, graphics mattered. That was how you judged the game back then. And now, ironically, I feel like we are begging them to stop trying to make it even more realistic than it is, because now it's like too much. Now it looks like ass. And I never thought, if you told me like 15 years ago, we would reach something like this, a point like this, where you are begging them to stop making it look real.
It's fucking stupid.
It would be insane. Now we're here, and this looks like shit. And now it's like, damn, do we care about graphical leaps anymore? I feel like, personally, my one answer to this is, if games looked the way they are for the rest of my life, I'd be happy. Like, I don't need a more graphical intensive leap than what we got. This is as far as we're going to go. Every game will look like this. Maybe there's a little tiny thing with every generation, but like, for the most part, everything blends in together. I would be fine. There's something to be said about, like, I want my video game to look like a video game. You know what I mean? I don't want... There's like, if I wanted to see Keanu Reeves, for example, I would watch Keanu Reeves movies. Like, and even in acting, like, there's a reason why they do hair and makeup and change their look and get skinny and get fat and everything. They're playing a character. Yes, I know that's Keanu Reeves, but really, that's Johnny Silverhand to me. That's not Keanu Reeves right now. And if you just make him look more like John Wick or Keanu Reeves, I'm just kind of like, fuck. Like, it does take me out of it a little bit. I'll talk a little more about Cyberpunk in a bit, because I finished the DLC, but it's like I could apply the same thing to Idris Elba. Idris Elba he really looks like Idris Elba, more so than Keanu Reeves looks like Keanu Reeves, I think. But it's still not to the point where I'm like put off by how much it looks like Idris Elba. I can still tell this is a video game character. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I think we can stop here. Art style is king to me. I feel like that's why, games like people make pixelated games now, and it's huge again. And people in the 360 era of games didn't give a shit about that stuff anymore. They just kept looking forward, and progression was everything, and we had to leave 8-bit 16-bit games in the past and all that stuff. And now, like, there's a huge market for these pixelated games again, and even like 2D animated games, platforming games. Like, the simpler games are becoming huge. Like, I don't like this game, Hollow Knight Silksong. Like, I don't play this thing, but like, I respect it so much for it being a $20 very simple animated left to right platforming game, and it's fucking huge. It's so popular, and that's what we need more of. No more of this graphical leap bullshit. Like, we just don't, people aren't vibing with this. And then, like, if you want to talk more about like within the industry and how it's going to take over jobs and all that stuff, yeah, that's another problem all in on its own. But just as a consumer, I'm good where we're at. Like, when I saw GTA 6 the trailer, yeah, it looked incredible. But again, it still looked like a game. It looked like the natural progression from 5 to 6, given the amount of time that's been in between. So I'm still not mad at it. But if those people started looking like real people, then it's like, man, this isn't really GTA anymore to me. Like,
it's kind of like when they try to make the Simpsons into like real life characters.
Oh God, yeah,
they look like just nightmare fuel. It's like, no. And we talked about this already once or twice throughout the show, but like, not everything needs to be seen in a different format. You know, sometimes it doesn't work. Like those characters you were talking about, Dragon Warrior. Maybe they're best represented on print, or maybe some kind of animation on TV. But as these pixels that you're controlling for like 80 to 100 hours, you can get a little bit tired of it for sure.
I mean, Final Fantasy VII Remake, they reimagined those polygons into these character models that we see. They don't look like real people, though. They still look like characters. They still look like what I would imagine Cloud looking like if graphics were better. They don't make a real Cloud, you know?
Yeah, but there's such an exaggeration to all the character models, but it works. Like, it doesn't make sense that one of Barrett's arms is like the size of Tifa, but it works when they're all standing together. Like, that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
If you were to apply some realistic filter to all of that, it might make it all get a little bit funky.
Barrett turns into Mr. T real quick. Jesus.
Right. Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. Final take, I think that NVIDIA thing was horrendous. I hope they don't embrace that. I mean, who am I kidding? They're going to embrace it more, but I hope we're years away from that being the norm, because that's going to be something else, man. If you guys like this video, be sure to check out the rest of the channel and consider subscribing. Go even further and subscribe to Podcast Fresh wherever you listen to your podcasts for new episodes every week.